Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Giving Mystical with me, Kirsten, and this is your weekly card pull, your week of August 22nd. I forgot to say that last week. It's so interesting because the Hermit card got pulled and it didn't even occur to me. The Hermit card is the card of Virgo. We're about to enter Virgo season. We have the eclipse season coming up that I think takes place on the Virgo-Pisces axis. We have the full moon in Virgo coming up, I think, on the 23rd. And then we have another full moon in Virgo happening on the autumn equinox. I think the way it works is this full moon coming up is at 0 degrees, and the full moon in September is at 29 degrees. So it runs the entire spectrum. There's 29 degrees in each zodiac sign, runs the entire spectrum of Virgo. What an interesting exploration in a hermit year. Like Virgo, it's just so interesting how it all layers on top of each other. But Virgo is highlighted. So wherever that you have that in your chart, wherever that's part of your experience, it's worth thinking about. And we're entering for Mystic Rising in September. We're moving into Maiden energy, which is also associated with Virgo. So I just love, I love the way the world works. That's what I love. But I love the kind of full circle. I love the idea that there's some culmination, some intensification, some concentration of this Virgo energy around us and with us. And that's going to, again, mean different things for all of us. It's going to impact all of us differently, going to find our comfort in that, our flow and alignment, and also find our challenge and our obstacles in that. And that's really cool. So the Hermit card last week was like, prepare ye for Virgo season. And then the 9th month in this year where we're really intensely engaged in the 9 energy. It's all very interesting. I wonder what this past week has been like for you. What really stuck with me from the reading last Friday was this idea that certain things need to take place in the dark. There's certain things that you really can only experience after a moment in the void, after a moment of cloaking, after a moment of darkness, of cocooning. It's something to think about in terms of being an intuitive human, being someone who's interested in learning more about your intuitive gifts or even moving your life in an intuitive way. My mantra for the year is Wu Wei. I'm really working with this idea of effortless action, alignment, so that action is moving in a larger current than you alone. And so you're trusting what is being called forth in front of you, where you are being called to move to, and not necessarily need to piece the whole puzzle together, but trusting one piece at a time that it's going to come together just the right way. But I say that because when you deepen into, I don't know what you'd call it, like intuitive living or moving with more grace and ease around trusting yourself, around trusting what you know, trusting what you're capable of, trusting what you've done, you can see things before other people do. You know something's going to happen. Have you ever met a friend or someone you ended up working with or someone you ended up in a relationship with and you met them, and the minute you met them, you were like, we are going to do something together. And so you might have this instinct, but the practice is seeing it, knowing the truth of it, knowing it's real, like you're not making this stuff up. I don't need to explain it. I just know what I know. And then letting it go. And then moving on to whatever the next thing is, knowing that the path is going to wind itself wherever it winds itself, but the truth is the truth, and you will always return to it. You will always come back to it. And you might have that experience here or there. And what I would just encourage you to trust is that the more you trust your sight, give attention and awareness to your sight without having to force action around it, it's just beautiful. Like things ease up in a really lovely way. And even if no one else ever knows, even if you can't explain it or you don't tell the story, that satisfaction that comes with, I knew this, like I knew this was coming. I knew we were going to end up here together. There's something quite beautiful about that. And the thing that came up in Mystic Rising when we were talking about the Huntress was this idea that you want what you want. Your desires, your needs, they are clear and they come from something much bigger than you. What you ache for, what you long for, what you are called towards, those are gifted to you from something. You call it God, source, your intuition, your higher self, your ancestors, the earth, whatever works for you. But it's moving from a place that's larger than just your own will. And I think the happiness research really backs this up. We're given this desire, we're given this goal, not just to get the goal. Because we know, like you know, that when you get the goal, when you arrive at the place, there will be another desire. There will be another goal waiting for you. This came through very clearly in the Huntress conversation. Trust what you're being called towards, and then devote yourself to living a life that meets that every day, knowing that you might be given the desire to force you to walk the path. It might be the path is the purpose. Like it might be, oh, I want this thing. To become who I need to become, to align with this thing, I need to do certain things. That's the path, that's the movement. And oftentimes the movement is the best part. The journey towards is the most important part. Partially what's come up in Huntress is trust where you want to shoot your arrow, trust the energetics behind that, and then be in awe of the journey that takes you there. Like appreciate the pleasure and the pain of the journey towards your desires. Because at the end of the day, that's what we look back on. We don't necessarily look back on and say, oh, I checked all these boxes. We look back on the person we've become as we've walked the path. And most of us, even if it hasn't been a smooth road, wouldn't trade places with someone else. There's something about the satisfaction, the fortification that comes from, it's me. Like it's been me the whole time. There's a mantra that I'm working with right now is as simple as I'm here. It's something that's come to me through dream work, and it has deep resonance for me in many, many ways. But that simple mantra of I'm here. I mean, Ram Dass says, be here now. Right? You could live a whole life practicing be here now. But this idea of I'm here and recognizing the many layers of that. I'm here. I'm a spiritual being in a body. I'm here in this moment. I'm here in this place. I'm here with myself. I'm not abandoning myself. There's something so powerful about that simple truth of I'm here, and now I'm here. And the awareness, again, expanding into the width of that moment as much as you expand into or desire the forward momentum. Okay, all that comes up because the card I pulled for us this week is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups, such a good card. So it's material movement, material truth or manifestation that aligns with the heart, that aligns with the emotional body. The Eight of Cups is so interesting because what everyone will tell you is look at these nice cups. Like, look at this nice situation. He's got, figure out 8 cups. That's a lot of cups. That's 1 cup short of a wish coming true. It's a lovely little setup, lovely little structure. Yeah, there's like a gap between the cups, but like most people would be fine with that. Most people would be okay with that. It's 8 solid, beautiful cups. And he's walking away. He, she, they. This is kind of the baby Hermit card. So this card does also connect back to Hermit, back to Virgo. This is, we really call this the Hermit of the Minor Arcana. I have something I need to do. I have something I need to do. And we all have that feeling somewhere in our life. There's something in your life, and in kind of healing language, we would say you're spiraling around it. You keep meeting yourself on the spiral, hopefully changing elevation maybe, so to speak, but meeting the same challenges over and over again, longing for more. So whatever that looks like, it could be ambition, it could be community, it could be peace, it could be freedom, it could be love, it could be intimacy, it could be creativity, it could be precision, like whatever the thing is, you're circling around it. And in some ways, you'll never be satisfied. Like you'll always want to know more, learn more, experience more. And it could be more than one, or it could be on more than one dimension of living. But there's something about this card that says to you, Shawshank, get busy living or get busy dying. He's like, I got to get busy living and I got to get on with it. I got shit to do. Like I got shit to do. I got to get on with it. And there's this beautiful self-propulsion, like self-momentum, this decision to look at something that should be good enough, should be satisfying, or actually has been for a long time. This pattern, this little collection of cups, I've worked hard for it. I've fought for it. It's worked for me for a long time. And I sit with it, and it's the same thing. Be here now. The same thing. I'm here. Okay, I'm here with it. It feels great. I love it. I did this. Wow, awesome. And then I sit with it some longer. I sit with it a little longer. Okay, I'm here. I feel good. And then all of a sudden we turn to the same situation one day and we look at it and say, something isn't working for me right now. There's so much courage in a grounded, embodied way, looking at the things that have worked for you and recognizing the fluidity of when that shifts, when that changes. And the beauty of this card, like the beauty of this version of that, because having to start again shows up many times in the tarot. In this particular card, there's so much grace to the acceptance of, I'm going to move while it's still good. Like, I'm going to turn and face what I want, move in the direction of what I desire without leaving a disaster behind, without leaving grief behind or the tower behind, like without it being a train wreck. There's a sense of, this is good, and yet I want more, and yet I crave more, and yet I desire something else, something more, something different, something new. And it doesn't come from a place of greediness. It doesn't come from a place of attainment for attainment's sake. It comes from this deep knowing of who you are and what you're here to do. And the moment you feel brave enough to hit the road, like there's something here about the energy of, I've worked really hard for this little collection of cups, for this little moment of satisfaction. And I maybe rested here for a little while. And now I got to hit the road. I got something I have to do. And there's just this kind of fuck it energy. Fuck it. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe, and you can say to yourself when you see this card, maybe he's wrong. Maybe he should stay there where it feels good, where it's satisfying, where it's well managed and lovely. But what we know as the overlords of the tarot that we are is that on the other side of this, you reach 9 cups. You reach wish fulfillment. You reach real deep alignment, real deep satisfaction. Satisfaction that runs so deep into your root system that the world remakes itself to mirror that. It's incredibly powerful energy. Then beyond the 9 of cups, we have the 10 of cups, which is system-wide happiness, system-wide, community-wide joy. So this is the energy of not knowing what, not being able to explain it per se, but being like, fuck this, I'm here, I got one life to live, I got stuff I gotta do. I didn't come here to get complacent. I didn't come here because it was easy. None of us came to Earth School because it was easy. We've all figured that out by now. So there's something about the 8 of Cups that requires real courage and a real sense of yourself, a really deep faith in yourself. The red cloak, the red shoes speaks to this, compelled by your desire. And again, not desire in the throwaway, desire in a, dude, I get only so much time here. Yes, I've fallen flat on my face. Yes, I've had some beautiful successes. And yet, what else? And yet, give me more. Give me more. Let me experience more of this life. And probably for you this week, you're going to recognize what I'm talking about. You're going to have something that's really going well for you at home or in your art or in your work or in your relationship. There's going to be something that's good on me. I did this. This feels really good. And yet there's a little something I'm still reaching for. I've always loved this card, but the thing that kind of comes through most firmly in this week for this week's energy is courage that comes when you're willing to say, fuck it. Like, fuck what I'm afraid of. Like, fuck how it's not going to work out. I'm going to give this my all. I'm going to hit the road and see what happens. What's even cooler is that when you first look at this card, it looks like it's happening at nighttime, but it's actually happening during it. I get so excited. It's actually happening during an eclipse. What's coming down the pike for us in the next couple of weeks? Eclipse season. So listen, dude, can you feel it? And I'm also doing a ton of dream work right now. I'm studying with Kim Krantz, who did all the Wild Unknown decks. I love her. I think her way of teaching and her perspective on the world is so unique. And she's such an incredible transmitter of energy, of possibility. This dream work class we're doing is incredibly potent. But what's really cool about it for me is that your dreams begin to take on this depth that then shifts your perspective on reality, on the everyday world. And it feels like I'm living in the Matrix. I feel like I keep parting the curtain and seeing this whole 3D, rich 5D world that's right there. The best way I can describe it in my perception is that you begin to really see the veil that most of us are interacting with. The Plato's cave, dude, that guy knew what he was talking about. Most of us are operating with the shadows on the wall. So most of us don't even realize there's light, and we're operating with the shadows. Some of us are like, oh my God, there's a campfire in here. Like, oh, there's a campfire. And then some of us are like, dude, we're in a cave. So there's shadows, there's a campfire, but you can also go outside where it's sunny, which comes back to, if you've ever listened to Untethered Soul, the same idea of we spend all our time in this little cabin thinking that that's the work. And the dream work, as I'm experiencing it right now, and it's tied in deeply and tightly and beautifully with the archetypal work I do with the tarot, is that there is literally a whole new world behind the screen. And it's so alive and so responsive. And so for me, part of my Eight of Cups energy is, what else? Like, this is awesome. I love what I do. I love my work. And I can feel that I'm about to move into a whole other space. I love that. I'm excited. What's your Eight of Cups? What's the thing that you're like, this is good. I feel good about this. This works for me. And yet I'm being pushed to move into a deeper place with it, a more colorful and more vibrant place with it. And there's this not carelessness, but maybe reckless courage to it. Like, hey, I'm here, only here once. I only got one life to live, so to speak. I only got one life to live. Let me have a good time while I'm here. Let me live it all. Let me feel it all. Let me not leave anything on the table for this life. So take the Hermit energy, the Virgo energy. Maybe it's helping you look at your systems a little more clearly and notice where the systems have run dry or there's something else possible there. And then be brave, like really be brave in this week ahead. You got nothing to lose. That's the trick with the Eight of Cups. It feels so risky when you're doing it, when you're stepping out onto the new path. It's, I don't even know. But you're the Hermit, dude. Like, you got your cloak, you got your staff, you got your lantern. You operate in a wild world. And if you're in Mystic Rising, you are part of a pride of lionesses. You have so much beautiful energy and support. You don't need to do it alone. You're sovereign, but you're not isolated. So all this good stuff is been in our field. We've been working with these energies. You have nothing to lose. You are headed towards the Nine of Cups and the 10 of Cups. It's a beautiful journey ahead of you. And there's something about the eclipse season that maybe if you're feeling a little hesitation, is going to give you that final push that you need. And okay, that feels good. This brings me so much joy. I've always loved this card because the Scorpio in me is like, what else? What else? What else do we need to explore and discover and uncover? But I feel a particularly strong vein of joy in this. And it has something to do with that recklessness, that I'm not taking it too seriously. I'm over trying to make it all perfect. I just want to be here while I'm alive. I'm here. I'm here. How lucky, how full, how beautiful, how exciting, how inspiring. Eight of Cups, week ahead. Hit me up. Tell me what that's like for you. Where's the place where it's good, it's all right, it feels beautiful, and yet I know there's more and I'm willing to head towards it. I'm willing to kind of hit the open road and see what happens. May you feel the wind at your back. Irish blessing. May you feel the warm sun on your face and the wind at your back, and know that your ancestors walk beside you. You don't walk alone. So just, that's here. I love it. I love anything that lets us all be more courageous, lets us take everything a little less seriously, lets us enjoy this precious, precious, precious life. All right, cool. Happy week to you. Happy full moon in Virgo to you. May you use the energy to notice where your work lies. What's the next step? Virgo gets a rap for being precise or perfectionist or particular, but they're deeply devotional. And that's really the energy you want to harness with this full moon. Be devoted to the world, but first be devoted to yourself. This is about you and you. I'm here. It's me and me. And may you find beautiful people to walk that path with, but may you never forget that your experience is worthwhile and precious and completely unique. I hope you can feel brave this week. I hope you can feel motivated and inspired to hit the road, see what's up. Fuck it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.